Cable towers are one of those pieces of equipment that can absolutely make or break your home gym. Versatile, space efficient, but they're surprisingly hard to get right. Now, on paper, the Bells of Steel Oblivyon Tower checks off all of those boxes. Ultra sturdy, super versatile, and it comes with a number of customized options. And on top of that, it even throws in free shipping. But after 6 weeks training with this thing in my garage gym, there's a few things you're gonna wanna know before you hit that buy now button. The No Fake channel, checking in. Jonathan here, and today we are gonna go up one side of this Bells of Steel 3x3 Oblivyon Cable Tower and down the other. I'm gonna tell you where this thing hits a home run and where it falls short. And we are also gonna compare it against other premium cable towers on the market. Assembling this absolute unit was actually straightforward and surprisingly easy. Regardless of that, I managed to screw it up anyway. So if you can see, these plate-loaded shafts over here are angled down. They're supposed to be angled up. This piece right here, I installed upside down. And it's not that difficult of a fix, but since it's gonna take me about an hour, I've kind of been putting it off because I just don't seem to have the time. This thing has a number of ways to actually secure it to mount it. You can mount it straight to your floor. You can mount it to your wall. Heck, they even have an attachment that allows you to mount this to a power rack. And you can do what I do, and that is to add weight storage in the rear in order to hold this thing lock, stock, and barrel. But I didn't choose any of those options. I know, no surprise there. I actually got the rear upright, and this allowed me to utilize the rear upright for additional plate storage. So putting plates on the back, especially when you put them low, locks this thing down solid. I am a big, huge fan of this rear upright. Not only does it look awesome, not only does it give you the ability to add weight storage and hold this thing down, but you can utilize it for storage. And vertical real estate in your home gym is the best way in order to capitalize on your space. And if that wasn't enough, the chef's kiss. Perfect. Adding this bad boy in the back makes this thing even more solid, even more secure, and even more premium. Bells of Steel didn't just take 3x3 uprights, slap a cable tower to it, and shove it out the door. They put a ton of really nice touches into this thing, putting it in that premium cable tower category. Now clearly you get numbers on the front and rear uprights. That's almost like standard, but you've got this little cutout here so that you know exactly what number you're on when you move this up and down. And the handles that they came with aren't just those typical junk handles that most companies are dumping out. They're actually got bearings on the inside to give you some really nice rotation, and of course you got that beautiful knurling. And here's something you will never see in the marketing photos. That is these beveled edges on the side here. Meaning when you're actually utilizing this, if you go too far to the right or too far to the left, it's not gonna chew up your cable. And that's really what fails first, if at all, in a home gym, is that cable. Now, you may need to have years and years or decades of use, but the fact that they thought of that is nice. Plastic pulleys, no way. Aluminum pulleys for that buttery smooth cable motion. And the cable motion on this thing is awesome, and I'm not overselling it. Even when there's no weight on here and you're just doing like that first 10 pounds, it is just super smooth. I mean, the tension on here is beautiful. Bells of Steel gives you the best of both worlds with their keyhole spacing. What's that mean? Whether you have 1-inch attachments or 5/8 of an inch attachment, they will fit on your front and rear uprights. And the reason that is beautiful is because you don't want to have to go out and rebuy different attachments in order to make sure that they can be utilized and fit on your Oblivyon Tower. Case in point, I've got the Rep Fitness Pegasus seat, but it's in 5/8 of an inch. If I had to go out and rebuy that in order to utilize it with this Oblivyon Tower, I probably just wouldn't because it costs a pretty penny. Typically with my reviews, I don't get caught up in all of the dimensions, the length and the width. The reality is I'm gonna just throw it up on the screen and you can read it. I'll put it in the description, or you could go to the company website that's linked below in the description and you could see it for yourself. But I will tell you the height of this thing is 89 3/4 of an inch. And that's important. That's very specific. Why? Most people's basements have low ceilings, and the majority of them have ceilings at 90 inches, meaning you can put this bad boy in your basement. Of course, you can put it in a garage. You can probably fit it in a closet based on that 89 3/4 inch height. Probably the most asked question when I review a cable machine is the cable travel length. People are always concerned. They must be doing some crazy Spider-Man functional trainer exercises. And I'm gonna tell you that we're gonna talk about the selectorized version that I have here. Keep in mind, if you go with the plate-loaded version, you're actually gonna get even more cable travel length. But if you use one hand, one arm over here, okay, 95 inches. I mean, you just pull this thing for days. What exercise are you doing where you need all of this cable travel length? I don't know, but I probably imagine it's something wild. Now, if you use two hands, okay, two hands at the same time, you're gonna get 48 inches, so 4 feet. Again, for all the exercises I was doing, whether it was flies, whether it was like face pulls and stuff like that, I didn't feel at all like I was gonna hit the top of this machine when I used the full range of motion on those exercises, but maybe you will. Bells of Steel does it right when it comes to their selectorized option. They give you a full 200-pound stack. Now it's got a 2-to-1 and 1-to-1 ratio, meaning when you pull one handle, you're gonna get 100 pounds when this thing is pinned out. When you pull both handles at the same time, or you connect the handles, you're gonna get 200 pounds. But I know some of you pituitary-eating gray back gorillas know 200 pounds is just a warm-up. Well. They actually added sleeves here for you to be able to throw on additional plates, whether you want to have like 1 or 2 pound jump increments because you're on these lower weights and you really want to have those micro adjustments, you can do that. But if you want to just go ham, you can throw like 45, 100 pounds on here, no problem. As far as the cable capacity, you're looking at 400 pounds total. So you can drop an additional 200 pounds on these sleeves and still be within tolerance. If you appreciate these honest, fast-paced reviews, then do me a favor and check out the links in the description. Those affiliate links do support the channel, but it ain't a one-way street, baby. When you use those links, you let Big Papa Pump know so that I can send you a small token of my appreciation. But what about lat pull downs? That's what people really want when it comes to a cable tower, because they want to buy a cable tower, have it act as a functional trainer, but also have it act as a lat pull down and low row machine. They want their cake, they want to eat it too. That 89 3/4 inch height is going to be tall enough to do lat pull downs. Now you can sit on the floor and you could do a lat pull down, you'll have plenty of room. But if you're old like me, you don't want to be sitting on a floor. You can get yourself a seat that will not only allow you to kind of be a bit more comfortable, but it'll lock in your legs for when you're going heavy. As an example, I've got the Pegasus seat currently on here, and it is all the way down at the bottom. It's still comfortable to get into and out of, but it allows me to do a lat pull down with one arm or with two arms, and I still get a nice range of motion. I don't have to like adjust my body or anything like that. I am 6'1", and I do have long arms, so take that into consideration. If you're 6'2" or 6'3", it may be just you're too tall, okay? Count yourself lucky to be at the top 3% of all human beings as far as height, but you may be kind of SOL when it comes to your lat pull downs. Now, if you're looking to maximize space, you can just shove this right against the wall, and that's probably gonna give you the smallest overall footprint. For me, I had this kitty corner, and this was perfect, because not only do I have this pretty close to the wall, but it allows me to get this access to this rear upright for weight storage. And the reality is, if you really wanted to have a setup where you had access to the front and then you utilized the back for dips and stuff like that, you could move this out into your home gym so that you could utilize the rear upright for like anything you can dream of. And I know there's a lot of you DIY guys out there that love to just kind of think of new and exciting ways to use it. And that is an option. While most people won't take advantage of it, it's something you can do. And if you really wanted to get wild with it, you can actually buy an attachment that Bells of Steel sells that will connect this to your existing power rack, of all things. I know, and you know, that at the end of the day, you're making your home gym equipment purchase based largely on one factor, and that's the cost. So we're going to dive into the cost of this Oblivyon Tower, and we're going to compare it to the competition because it doesn't live in a vacuum. Now, Bells of Steel gives you tons of options so that you can help kind of figure out what's going to be right for you. This is the plate-loaded version without the upright, comes in at the cheapest, $1,300. We're going to go by today's prices, but they always throw sales, so you probably should be able to get at least 5% off of this price if you just kind of play your cards right, if not more. Now, if you want to go with the weight stack, which I always recommend, I always think it's just something that's a high level of convenience. You never seem to be mad that you went with the weight stack. Close to $2,000. Now, if you want to go with the back upright, which is the configuration that I have, we're looking at $2,189.99. So almost $2,200, which isn't cheap, but again, they will have sales that will hopefully knock this down depending on when you buy it. The Force USA Tandem Tower, another premium cable tower that I have reviewed that I think is really great if you're looking to maximize space and use a kiddie corner in your home gym, but it is not cheap. You got $2,500, you do get free shipping, but that comes with like a 200-pound weight stack. You can't upgrade the weight stack for another $250. So you can go from like a 250-pound weight stack to a 300-pound weight stack, which for most people is going to be plenty of weight. I mean, I couldn't do a 300-pound lat pull down. I couldn't do a 300-pound row, and I'm guessing most of you couldn't either. Another cable tower with tornado arms, the GetRx Phoenix Cable Tower. This one, as you can see, like I said, most of these companies are throwing sales time to time. This one starts off at $2,180 and it goes, right now it's on sale for $1,961 with free shipping. This thing is heavy duty. This was a really fun one. The only caveat that I would say with this one was the actual trolley. The trolley's heavy, man. I don't know, there's no other way to say it. It's heavy. It's on rollers. It moves super smooth. I love the motion of the trolley, but it's just heavy. It's definitely a two-handed lift. So you got to keep that in mind. If you've got young ones or maybe your wife, it might just be too heavy of a lift. But overall, I mean, you're getting what you pay for because it is a large margin. The Rep Fitness Adonis Cable Tower. Now this is more of an in-between cable tower and a lat pull down low row machine. It gives you like the best of both worlds, but this one comes in $25.25. So it is got a pretty hefty price tag. Now, if you do want to add weight to their selectorized weight stack, you can add plates on the side. That will give you the ability to kind of go ultra heavy for those heavier exercises like lat pull downs and low rows. And here we have the Rep Fitness Arcadia Max. This is the functional trainer. A lot of people love their functional trainers because they're just so familiar with it. And this is one of the more top tier ones. Rep Fitness known for high quality, and they've got a lot of bells and whistles and nice touches on this thing, but $2,700. So you can see you are ticking up much higher as you go when it comes to buying a functional trainer versus a cable tower. And now it's time. It is time for the most important part of today's video, my final thoughts. After 6 weeks of clanging and banging with the Bells of Steel selectorized Oblivyon Cable Tower, and we are gonna go line by line with my cheat sheet. Number one, would I buy the plate-loaded version? And the short answer is absolutely not. I think that's a great way to save money, and I love the fact that Bells of Steel has given you an upgrade option, so if down the road you want to kind of save up that money and get the selectorized version, you absolutely can. But personally, from previous experience, I always find myself happy that I spent the extra money to get the selectorized unit. Probably the biggest question you need to ask in advance before you hit that buy now button after clicking on my affiliate link, which is in the description, is how do you plan to mount this? Now, as it stands, it's a very sturdy piece of equipment, but when you're doing heavy exercises, especially from the top, like pull downs or heavy pull overs, you're gonna get wobble, and there's of course a safety risk of this tipping over. While highly unlikely, it can happen, and the reality is if you don't have this secured, it's not gonna feel as nice because you're gonna get wiggle on every exercise. Now, they have a number of ways to mount this. To the wall, on the bottom, the wall at the top. You can mount it to the floor. For me, the best way is gonna simply be adding weight in the rear. Adding that weight is not only a great way to store your plates, but it's a great way to lock this thing into place. Every year there is a new hype piece of home gym equipment, a new accessory that you need to have if you want to get any gains at all. And this year it is oscillating arms, pivot arms, tornado arms, thunder arms. You know what I'm talking about. And do you need those with the cable tower? And the truth is, it's just like flying first class. You're gonna get to the same destination whether you have these or whether you have those pivot arms. It's just gonna feel a little bit nicer. It's gonna open up a few more exercises. Most people think they're gonna get these pivot arms in and they're gonna do all these different magical exercises that they never would have done with the typical cable machine. And that's just not true. It isn't gonna happen. You're gonna have a couple exercises that are gonna feel a little bit better, a couple exercises that might give you a wider range of motion, but nothing that's going to blow your mind. The only upside in terms of those pivot arms that I see when it comes to a cable tower is that you can tick those up, and that's going to give you an extra 3 or 4 inches for your pull down type of exercises, which you may need if you're on the taller side.
Hey, yo.
What do you give up when you go with the cable tower versus a functional trainer? And it's not nearly as much as you think. Now, most people are familiar with functional trainers from their local gym. They know what exercises they can do. They're comfortable with that. However, the only real exercise that I found that I can't do are, I'll call them like reverse flies, when you grab the end of each cable and you kind of squeeze your rear delts and your traps. Now, of course, cable flies is an exercise people love to do for their chest, and you can do that with a cable tower. It's just gonna be a more restricted range of motion. It's not gonna feel as nice, it's not gonna feel as pretty. But the reality is you get a lot more exercises out of a cable tower. When you've got a functional trainer, you can kind of do pull downs. You can do pull downs from the floor, but you've got to grab one of each arm, and it's like fugazi, and if you go too heavy, it pulls you up. It's just not that good. You can also do low rows on this thing, and you can go ultra heavy. On a functional trainer, trying to do low rows is like, it's just a nuisance. The weight doesn't go as heavy, or you grab each stack, but your hands are like way out here. You get the idea. When it comes to a cable tower, you're actually getting a lot more versatility compared to a functional trainer. And it's gonna take up a smaller footprint, and it comes in a lot less as far as that price tag is concerned. Now, 2 other things that are absolutely on sale right now. These 2 videos, give them a watch. Use the links in the description. They support the channel, they keep these videos coming, and they keep them honest. And as usual, thank you for watching, but don't save anything for the trip back.